Alright, so this is part of the garden I actually don't show too often, which is the asparagus bed. It always looks a mess. And for actually, I actually didn't think that the asparagus in here was alive for a little while because there was nothing happening in this garden area. I didn't harvest anything this year just because there was so few asparagus to actually pull. I actually think two things happened. The first thing is the watering wasn't consistent. I need to stay on that. But also because of the weird fluctuations in temperatures earlier in the season, we just didn't get... The asparagus is actually coming up now. And I'm not pulling it now because it needs to go through its life cycle to be healthier next year. So this bed is kind of overgrown and kind of yucky. And it also has poison ivy in it too. There's poison ivy behind it, and so it actually creeps its way into the garden, into the grow bed, and it vines out, which is a benefit because I can actually pull the entire vine while it's still within its first year of vining out. Second year puts on roots, you have to dig that out. But what I'm going to do is just clear this entire bed of everything but asparagus. We're going to actually cut this vineweed and stuff back from this garden area. Yeah, we're going to do that and then just give it a heavy water. There's already a bunch of mulch in here, just grass clippings. So we're going to clean this bed out really quick, and then we're going to move over to the enclosed garden area, which needs a lot of work. Looking for a vine because I know it's vining. I'm going to put all of this, I'm going to put that on the ground for now. Away from your tools. You don't want them getting anywhere on there. I'm just going to use this bag to get all of the vines, at least the ones we can reach. Got a good one, and I think we got the root with that one. Just gonna try to pull it up. Alright, so this hand has been the only hand to touch this stuff. So I'm going to try to see if I can roll it into some semblance of a ball so I can stuff it in this bag. Try to only use one hand if you can to actually directly touch it, because like right now I'm sweating and it's easy to just try to have this stuff in your face. So I'm going to take this bag and try to roll it over as best I can. And then we're going to toss this. We're not going to put this inside of the compost bin or anything. We're just going to toss it out. And there you go, roots and all. I'm going to take every leaf below the first tomato. This one too. And any suckers. vine leaf back here too. Yeah, that's better. All right, now you don't want to take off too many leaves because then you'll end up with sun-scalded tomatoes. And if you want, have a little bucket for your tomato leaves, and then you can fill it up with water, let it sit for a month, and it is an excellent pesticide. Just a note if you want that, but I'm probably not going to do it. Alright, so I do want you guys to see what's already been done. So I'll show you guys a before and an after. This beauty right here. The birds. So we have cleared off all of the leaves at the bottom of the plants, all the way around. Now we did lose a plant here. Like I said, this bed has always been kind of behind. I did till this bed a little bit just to narrow the garden space, but I did see some funkiness with the boards that I didn't actually see over here. But so we actually did lose a tomato plant. I'm not exactly sure what variety it was, but had to pull it because it looked sickly and nothing else around it looks sickly. This plant looks relatively healthy. This plant looks healthy. This plant actually has some tomatoes at the bottom of it. So what I'm going to do when I get through is actually just come around with some ties and actually just tie these towards the fence line. But they all have little tomatoes on it. They all have flowers on it. I mean, they look a little wimpy compared to the ones on this side, but we do have some space here. I didn't pull up every single weed because I don't have anything to cover the ground. So I just literally been chopping down the chives and the bunching onions, which is also a scent deterrent. I am hoping that the squash may kind of trellis out a little bit more to cover this space. So I might actually drop a seed here. We don't have enough time for winter squash, but maybe a summer squash seed here. I could root another tomato plant, but I have enough. So, let's see, this one's going all the way down here. This one's trying to go that way, so I'm actually going to try to see if I can redirect it to go down this way. But look at the fruit. So we do have one here. We have one over there. There's a nice little green one back there. That's the last spot I have to clean, is this one here, to allow for the squash to go behind it. There's some healthy spider webs back there as well. So I'm going to have to get back there eventually. But we do have some very healthy tomato sets. They really do need to be staked up. And this way it allows for more airflow. These tomatoes are all the way up there now. I am going to come back for the stinging nettle as well. And I'm actually cutting the catnip today. And then here we have a little squash here. And this one's trying to trellis this way. So we're just gonna help it, help this little plant, and come back around this way. And hopefully it can go back around and fill in some spots. But doesn't look so much like a jungle. And it allows for more airflow, at least to come up on the plants. We just have to deal with the atrocities going down this way. And I should have did this a lot earlier, because now I have to actually watch out for the vines, for the honey nut squash and the butternut squash. And then here, there wasn't so much to do with the peppers, just to pull a little bit of weeds. I mean, but these are massive. Look at this. These Anaheim peppers are no joke. Cayenne peppers, these are Thai peppers here. This one I actually don't see any fruit on yet. Look at this. Cayenne peppers here. This plant is tall. I'm gonna actually move this fence line back up over this way and then push these peppers back. Look how beautiful they are. And there's another one coming in here as well. Here, we did remove all of the bottom leaves from this area here. And I cut off a few suckers, so we're going to push these back towards the fence so it'll have some room, some support for when the tomatoes grow in. Look at that one there, it's huge. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. I think all of them now have some beautiful tomato clusters. I didn't want to take too many leaves. You do want to leave some shade for the tomatoes or they'll sun scald, so I only took the leaves below the tomato plants, below the tomatoes. Look at this one here. Yeah, you don't want to take too many leaves. Outside of the fact that the plant actually needs the leaves to photosynthesize, too many and you'll mess up your fruit. We have a nice fruit set here as well. Look at that. I did take some suckers as well, maybe not enough. I gotta come back and prune that one. And then push these towards the fence line. And they also did get watered in as well. So while I was pruning, I was also watering this area. And then this area, it looks a mess, but I actually want to keep a lot of the nasturtiums and the marigolds. The only thing I really wanted to do was to make sure I had enough room for the okra. I'm not sure if that little one's gonna make it. It might just need to be watered directly. But we do have this one here. And it looks like we're starting to get a little bit of okra here. They're starting to put on some flowers. So we do have 1 and 2. I did need to push some of the foliage back. So we did that, just to allow for some sunlight. So we have 1, 2, 3 okra and possibly a 4th one. And then the bee balm is just the bee balm bed. So alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I know that your gardens are beautiful and a lot of you guys have tomato harvest and squash harvest and all types of harvest, and I am there for you with that. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing to be able to walk out into your garden and pick some beautiful flowers and just sit in the beauty of everything that you've created. Even after the hard work, I mean, sometimes gardens are a lot of maintenance. You know, you have to cut down a lot of plants which inevitably are going to grow back. You know, and weed and debug and everything else you have to do. Even the harvest sometimes can be a little stressful because now that you take the stuff in the house, you have to figure out what to do with it. But I'm okay with those blessings, especially with the prices at the grocery store on fresh produce. I am so thankful to be able to just come outside if I don't know exactly what I'm going to use as a side and be able to pick some pole beans or be able to come out here and pick some collard greens and just throw them in the crock pot. Like, that is truly a blessing that is underestimated. Seriously, just to be able to come out here and harvest your own food. It's a beautiful thing. But in any case, thank you guys so much for watching, and you have a great and beautiful day. Peace.